State. Government confirms death of 3 worshippers. Nigeria to participate at the 6th session of Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting Jordan in Kigali. At Nigerian in Saudi Arabia makes a strategic effort towards making the nation proud. And we begin with EKITI governorship election. EKITI State Governor-elect Abiodun Oyebanji of the All Progressives Congress APC has pledged extensive consultations, including invitation to his co-contestants in his quest to sustain development in the state. He made the announcement during his acceptance speech, following his declaration as winner of Saturday's governorship election by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Kunle Adie reports.
At a news conference, the governor-elect admitted that governance is tasking but has taken the responsibility, having gathered much experience while serving the state in different capacities. He emphasized that he will reach out to his co-contestants in the interest of the state.
And we will continue our consultation to seek more input into our blueprint for the state, and will, in the coming days, open formal channels through which you can send suggestions to us. We want to continue to listen to you and engage.
Incumbent Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi, Chairman, APC EKITI State Governorship Election Campaign Council, and Governor of Kebbi State, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, including Jigawa State Governor Mohammed Badaru, were also at the Kakusi residence of the governor-elect, where the election result was presented to him. Meanwhile, the governorship candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP Shaguni, who came second in the election, has described the results as unacceptable. He told NTA News at his Ifaki country home that the result is being studied and urged his supporters to remain calm. In Ado-Ekiti, Kunle Adeye, NTA News.
Muhammad Buhari has congratulated Abiodun Oyebanji as he is declared governor-elect in the EKITI State governorship election. In a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, the president says the victory was well-deserved and urges him to be magnanimous in victory. President Buhari also rejoices with the APC chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, and the National Working Committee describing the victory as proof of public confidence in the APC as a choice of platform for good governance, especially as the nation prepares for the coming elections in Osun and nationwide in 2023. Embassies and Nigerians have been congratulating the APC governor-elect Abiodun Oyebanji on his victory in the EKITI State governorship election. The people of EKITI State and the APC National Working Committee, Butua Mila, has the compilation.
Senator Lawan also congratulates the APC, both at the state and national levels, and the people of EKITI on the peaceful and successful conduct of the poll and also making the right choice. The outcome of the election, he says, further demonstrates the trust and confidence of Nigerians across the country in the APC. Similarly, the All Progressives Congress congratulates and profoundly appreciates the people of EKITI State for reaffirming their confidence in the party by rallying around the governor-elect Abiodun Oyebanji. The party also commends the Governor Atiku Bagudu-led campaign council for discharging their assignments with extraordinary commitment and efficiency, and the party's presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu, APC governors, and party leaders for their highly valued contributions to the success. Ahead of the 2023 general elections, the APC urged the people of EKITI and Nigerians in general to sustain their support for APC by voting overwhelmingly for all its candidates, as the party remains unwavering in its commitment to improving the quality of governance and standard of living of all Nigerians. In the same vein, All Progressives Congress national leader and presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu has congratulated Ekiti State Governor-elect Abiodun Oyebanji for winning the Saturday, June 18, 2022 governorship election. Tinubu commends the party's governors and members of the National Working Committee for recording their first major electoral victory, charging them not to relent in their efforts to lead the party to greater victory in 2023 general elections. The APC presidential candidate salute the people of Ekiti State for voting for progressive leadership and continuity through the efforts of the party's governors, led by their chairman and governor of Kebbi, for their hard work and tenacity to achieve victory for the party. The feat, he acknowledged, should motivate and inspire members to go for more victories in the coming elections.
The Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, has applauded the electorates in Ekiti State for cooperating with the police force and other security agencies during the governorship election in the state. A statement by the force public relations officer Olumiyiwa Adejobi says the IGP equally lauded the efforts of the police officers deployed for the polls. The IGP noted that the police officers conducted themselves professionally in a humane manner, which built trust with the electorates and ultimately led to a successful electoral process. The Inspector General of Police, while admonishing Nigerians to toe the line of peaceful conduct in forthcoming elections, assured Nigerians or citizens of improved management of security during electioneering processes, even as he called on well-meaning Nigerians to accord necessary support to the police and other security agencies in the forthcoming 2023 general elections, including the staggered Osun State governorship election. And following months of epileptic power supply in Abuja and environs, the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company ADC says it is embarking on 40 quick win projects aimed at rehabilitating its network to improve power supply. A statement by its managing director Adeoye Fadeyebi. The projects currently ongoing include deloading the overloaded feeders, acquiring new distribution transformers, and repair of 78 existing ones. This is in addition to ongoing maintenance on its 34 power transformers, while acknowledging the persistent poor electricity supply in Abuja and environs. AEDC appeals to electricity consumers to be patient as industry players address broader challenges of low generation and system instability. And Nigeria is to participate at the 26th session of Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting CHOGM, scheduled to hold in Kigali, Rwanda, from 20th to 26th June 2022. In a statement by Ministry of Foreign Affairs, President Buhari will deliver remarks at the summit on malaria and tropical diseases. The president will also speak at the Heads of Government Roundtable. There will be other bilateral meetings which the president is expected to participate. The summit has lined up activities for ministers, senior government officials, business and civil society organizations. Nigeria's participation in CHOGM 2022 will afford her the opportunity to attract investments into critical sectors of the economy, such as energy, agriculture, mining and solid minerals, ICT, technology innovation. President Buhari will be accompanied by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, among other ministers and top government officials. Still talking economy, trade ministers from member countries of World Trade Organization adopted 10 decisions and declarations at the just concluded World Trade Organization WTA 12th Ministerial Conference MC12 in Geneva, Switzerland. Part of the conference's outcome documents show that 10 ministerial decisions and declarations were adopted by trade ministers, 7 were considered and adopted by the Ministerial Conference, while 3 were considered by the General Council and brought forward to the ministers for adoption. Worthy of note among the outcome is the adoption of the 20 years outstanding agreement on fisheries subsidies. The Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Ambassador Mariam Yalwaji Katagum, who led the Nigerian delegation to the 12th WTO Ministerial Conference on behalf of the federal government, commended the Director General, WTO, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, on the structured modalities of sessions which provided members with a constructive way of engagement on the identified priority areas. Nigeria notes, among other things, WTO response to the pandemic and the agreement on trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights. That is, trade waivers, food crisis, fisheries subsidies, agricultural reforms, and WTO reform as ideal for healthy global trade practices. This is the first ministerial conference since the appointment of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala as the Director General, WTO. An economic analyst says Nigeria should take advantage of Indonesia's palm oil export ban to expand its market share. Let's join Alika Okmanachiarua for details.
Recently, Indonesian President Joko announced a total export ban on all palm oil, both crude, refined and processed, out of the country to tackle local price hikes. Already, the ban is soaring cooking oil prices even higher worldwide, aggravating global food security fears amid adverse weather and the war in Ukraine. Analysts said Indonesia's palm oil export ban has left the door open for Nigeria to expand its market share and reap higher export profits if appropriate measures are put in place.
For us, when we talk about palm oil, it's even supposed to be one of the things that should be a revenue generating business for Nigeria, because we move from Lagos axis the Benin to Edo, you see a very long stretch of palm oil and they're wasting. So the government is focusing on agric now. That is the focus of Nigerian government. So, and I believe for palm oil, not just even the palm oil alone, the good thing about this palm is that a lot of byproducts, even outside of the palm oil, the kernels, the oil, there's hardly anything. That's one of the trees we call wonder tree. There's hardly anything on that tree that is not economically viable. So it's about time.
Global palm oil prices have soared in recent months, with other vegetable oils, including sunflower and soy, on similar trajectories, driving the UN Food and Agriculture Organization's vegetable oil price index to a record high in February, a peak that's continued to rise. With business news, Anika Okmanachi Arua.
And from our business desk, we take a short break. News at 10 continues after this time out. Still News 24. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying tuned. And earlier we brought you a series of reports from the just concluded EKITI governorship elections. And joining me now in the studio to analyze that election via Zoom is public affairs analyst Jide Ojo.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be on your program.
Same here. Good morning. Jide Ojo, you've heard a series of reports from the just concluded EKITI governorship election. The governor-elect, toppling the likes of Shemoni proved, a twist. What does this say about EKITI state in particular, and our electoral process in general, taking the issue of popularity, in context?
Well, first and foremost, I want to congratulate the governor-elect of EKITI State on a well-deserved victory, and also to commend INEC for a very successful election. All the observer groups have testified that the election was largely peaceful and very smooth. There were no issues, significant issues, let me put it that way. There were no significant issues with the beavers, that's the Bermuda voter accreditation systems, and quite a number of policies and guidelines and regulations, as well as the electoral 2022 were implemented, largely implemented by INEC. And a winner emerged on the first ballot, which is not always the case. In the same EKITI state, where back in 2007 elections, there was a rerun, which actually turned bloody. So, to the fact that the election was successful, peaceful, and inclusive, I will say kudos. However, we do know that there were issues still lingering the electoral process, particularly the issue of vote trading that was significantly recorded across the state. This is a blight on
the fact that it's hitchful about this dominant rule of vote buying. You have actually talked about it, and what do you think? It shouldn't be overlooked in the case, I know, where there are such reports of anomalies reported. How do you think this can be addressed?
It can be addressed in multiple ways. I've said on different platforms, including that of NTA, that our security agencies need to double down on this issue of vote trading, and they need to do that in a very creative way. I saw on Saturday EFCC officials with their jackets going from one polling station to the other. It's the same way as the police will do when they use siren to come on a rescue operation, and the culprits will scamper to safety. What needs to be done in terms of tackling this menace of vote trading is sting operation. There should be plainclothes policemen deployed purposely to arrest these people who are involved in vote trading. Section 121 and Section 127 of the Electoral Act 2022 has criminalized vote buying and vote trading, including inducement. And I will expect that sting operations should be carried out by the anti-corruption agencies, including the police and DSS. Having said that, there's still a lot of sensitization that needed to be done for people to know the implication of selling their votes, and the fact that there's a nexus between vote trading and underdevelopment in many states. No one who gives you money to buy your vote will be glad to deliver on democracy dividends, because there's no free lunch in Freetown. Even if Father Christmas will collect to give you a gift. So people must know the implication is underdevelopment if they refuse or if they demand for stomach infrastructure or see and buy or engage in the book savers was largely seen in the EKITI elections. So there is need for arrest, but not beyond arrest. There is also need for diligent prosecution of those who are arrested, so that there will be made scapegoats for others who may want to indulge in that. EKITI Osun governorship election is just less than 1 month away. If there are no scapegoats made from EKITI state, Atlantic EFCC arrested 15 persons for vote buying and vote trading. They need to make a scapegoat of these 15. But if they are let off the hook and the whole thing is done as a family affair, then be expecting a wider scale of vote trading in Osun State on July 16. So my own take is that, yes, you need to make arrests, but diligent prosecution is also needful. Beyond and above that is also the need for voter education, sensitization, and enlightenment on the implication of vote buying, how it affects our deepening of democracy and how it also creates underdevelopment.
You talked about the need for more sensitization, why people should know that they shouldn't sell their votes and all that. So in general, how will you assess the election in Ekiti State? Was it expected?
Well, Ekiti election, like I said, ab initio, was successfully conducted, peaceful, largely peaceful, and INEC got the logistics right. However, there is also the issue of low turnout of voters. Approximately 37% of the registered voters, which were close to 1 million, approximately 37% of them turned out to vote on Saturday. And I've said that if we want to improve significantly the turnout of voters, there are a number of things we needed to do. One of them is the tinkering with our legal framework to allow for early voting. To also, and we need to do away with this issue of lockdown during election. Election should be a civic exercise. You don't need to lock down the economy of any state or country because you are conducting elections. And then the number of hours of voting needs to be extended. In the United States of America and Egypt, you have had the privilege of observing elections. Elections are held for 12 hours, but in Nigeria it's only held for 6 hours. And there is lockdown, and many people registered far-flung places from where they live. So until when we have multiple ways by which people can cast their ballots, including mail ballots, including diaspora voting or out-of-country voting, including the fact that politicians fulfill their campaign promises, they will